On March 23rd, 2020, a user by the name of Kieran joined a Roblox community server of mine called Noah's Market through Discord. Immediately, he was recognized upon members for breaching a high-value 3-letter account and a content deleted. Unknowingly though, this was just the beginning of an extensive timeline from nothing to almost 75 grand through the Roblox black market. This is one of the few most notorious hackers on Roblox. Almost 2 weeks after Kieran joined the market, he posted in the general chat of the community server he PG'd one of his first name snipes. This was a horde, in fact. This included accounts such as Elf, Eagle, Jirachi, and Warcraft, and immediately most people in the server were astounded by this, and it already sparked interest in most fast trackers, although only 2 of the accounts were terminated by them. And over time, I took notice and asked a close friend of mine whose name remains anonymous for this video to create a webhook that was fired and would display each time an account would come online after a minimum year span. This was done as sort of a stolen account database dedicated to Kieran, and shortly after this, Kieran PG'd an account that to this day outvalues the previous accounts by triple the amount. Bang 26. You see, spaced accounts in particular are worth up to $1,000 now per account due to the fairly little amount that are left, and I'll be explaining more on that later on. Anyways, almost a month after all this happened, something even more interesting happened. You see, on July 12th, 2020, Kieran PG'd one of the most targeted account hordes on Roblox, the Nueva accounts. Now, if you don't know, the Nueva accounts were created as placeholder testing accounts similar to John and Jane Doe, except these were dedicated to a school near the Roblox HQ in San Mateo, California. Supposedly, these were test accounts created to test accessibility on Macintosh devices, and it was assumed by Kieran that the accounts were created by David Baszucki himself. Following that, one of David Baszucki's old passwords was recovered through a data breach engine that worked on half of the 8 accounts. This was quickly noticed and added to the official fandom page, with his avatar signature as the icon, and a month later, on August 4th, 2020, was his final message in my current market. After 5 months of inactivity, on January 28th, 2021, I received a message from Kieran informing me he discovered an API within Roblox's login service, and he had created a Bruteforcer with no rate limit. I was given a copy of this, and so were 4 other people, and by the next morning, all hell broke loose. Only a week into brooding, over 1,000 accounts were successfully brute forced, a large majority being higher valued accounts. There was one issue with this brute forcer though. It was limited to only an email password login. Therefore, we were only limited to a database that was leaked in 2016 containing the first 50,000 accounts' emails. Another small issue was the amount of false hits given to us. This was due to the flooding password results from common emails or accounts that surpassed the 50,000 limit, so we couldn't find the username. Eventually, Kieran created an alt group you may have seen on Roblox called Roblox/N. It consists of 47,000 members, 95% of them being bots, and the other percentage are organized ranks of accounts he hit with the email brooder. His mistake though was including certain accounts that were very known to the community, such as his double underscore he hit and very valuable name snipes. And shortly before the Bruteforcer was patched, almost every single account in the group was locked, including our shared accounts ranks, therefore valuing these accounts at nothing. This didn't stop Kieran though. Shortly after the Bruteforcer was patched, he began targeting more specific accounts of collectible value. One issue and matter was the fact he had no information on the accounts he was targeting though. This was quickly resolved though due to another database that was leaked in 2016 known to many people as the 3K Rich List. This consisted of over 3,000 mid to high valued users with their linked emails. Unfortunately, most of this list was either hijacked or secured upon realization. It would require a very deep data mine into a single user that would likely lead into nowhere. Fortunately for Kieran though, this was none of that. All it took was a simple Hotmail bug he abused, and he was inside the linked email. This Hotmail bug was never made public even to me, and the email in the reference belongs to the user Divine Hate. At the time, the user had around 4.6 million value. This included items such as Red Sparkle Time Fedora, Clockwork Headphones, Valk, and Prankster. As of right now, the value of the account is over 7 million, which, based on the items, is equivalent to around 15,000 USD. And as of today, all these items have been sold. Another incident that happened shortly before Divine Hate was the case of John Sania. This user was also listed in the 3K Rich List, but had an incorrectly spelled Hotmail. At the time, the email brooder was still unpatched, but rate limited very hard. By rearranging the full Hotmail email, he had to guess if the email was actually correct. Luckily for him, this worked. Overnight, the email was a hit, and since the account had zero verification on it at the time, it allowed for him to sign in with no 2FA checkpoints. The account didn't have close to what Divine Hate had, but instead a very rare collectible called Red Grind. This item in particular goes for thousands of dollars due to its low copy count. There wasn't much to this account, but it was a very notable hit I felt I should add. As for the last incident around this time, a user by the name of CoolGods1 was also hit by Kieran. This account specifically was data mined in a very easy and interesting way. By looking up the user on a database engine, you'll be presented with two false results. Kieran realizes quickly and actually turned to Twitter for information. He did this by searching the username CoolGods1 on the people search and took the display name from the user's profile. He pasted it in the D hash. Doing so, he was given the email. Following that, the password eggroll12. Similar to the last account, this user had no verification at the time too, so he was simply just granted access and compromised over 2.5 million value, which again converts to USD at around $3,000. Over time though, Kieran got bored of PGing accounts. Instead, he turned to something that cost him an actual cease and desist letter from Roblox themselves. This leads me to the fourth and final chapter of this video. Around mid-October 2021, Kieran messaged me he was mass creating over 500,000 bots and favoriting a game. Now, it was a shockingly high number as all of these accounts were stored cookies that would be used for botting anything on Roblox. Over time, these were actually pretty fun to mess with. It caught the attention of users at New User Machine, as Kieran's bots were sniping every ID that appeared on the in-game board. You're probably wondering though, how was he bypassing CAPTCHA with these? Well, in this case, there was the Xbox sign-up API that contained no rate limit, allowing infinite requests. The Xbox API also contained no CAPTCHA as, well, it was an Xbox. By experimenting with the bots for months, Kieran found a way to attach over 1 million bots to a single email. Not only did this flood requests, causing issues on Roblox's end, but Kieran also email spammed a bunch of Roblox admin emails. This pretty much outraged Roblox to the point where they sent him a letter notifying him of potential court actions if he didn't stop cyber attacking the website. This included a large quantity of account compromising, same with email terminations linked to his email, and along with the botting and email spamming. After this letter, on April 28th of this year, he drifted completely away from Roblox and continued his actions with Twitter. I wanted to thank you all for watching this documentary I created. I've been experimenting with Adobe After Effects and Premiere Pro and becoming more comfortable with this editing style. If you're interested in more of these documentaries, drop a sub and I'll be uploading more soon. Goodbye.